What's going on, everyone? Welcome back to the channel. Today I'm going to go over some recaps, plus I'm going to talk about a new program that I have joined called Topstep. I know most of you probably know it, but I'm going to go over my experience with it so far, and I'm going to talk about some of my trades from this morning. Obviously, I just missed a trade on SJ. I basically took the exact same trade on SJ this morning. Then you see here where it was dipping down, came back up into the VWAP, gave us that rejection. I shorted it in this consolidation as it tried to come up, but there was still a ton of short pressure. So I shorted it there. 1130s covered down here as it ripped down into the 1080s. And tried to add to my position because I thought maybe it would break down to the 1050s, but it consolidated and went higher, so I covered. Was a decent trade there. But obviously would have been nicer if it would have just broken down, but I saw it reverse here, was interested in it, but it looked like it was just kind of consolidating and holding these levels. So congrats if you got in on this pop to 1150s and got that short, but I just caught this move this morning, so it wasn't that great. But I also traded GSX as well. This one, I mean, it's a green trade, but it's nothing amazing, and it really kind of sucks because I ended up getting stopped out when it dropped down below 30.50 here, as I thought maybe it would hold that level, but as soon as I saw it reverse, I didn't want to get caught in a move lower, so I stopped out and unfortunately missed the move where it popped up to 32. So I caught a decent trade from 30 to 31, but you know, it could have been a lot nicer of a trade. So overall, a decent day, decently green, but you know, could have been nicer. Unfortunately, on SYPR on Friday, I had a pretty bad short, so I got caught in a short on Friday. This one was a little painful, so unfortunately, I was trying to short it for the break of the VWAP in the consolidation phase. This one I was kind of a little hesitant on as well because it stopped me out once as well. So then I thought maybe, oh crap, okay, maybe, you know, you had this huge selling volume, but unfortunately it was able to stop me out, and then it stopped me out again before it eventually faded. So it kind of was way too choppy, and it ended up catching me in a move. I was able to make a little bit of money on the reversal, but I ended up getting chopped out of it before I could make some serious money from it, any serious money back from it, I should say, because I was already down quite a bit. So I mean, it wasn't bad. It was like $50 in the hole, but still, it's not good. Yeah, this one green candle here just caught me pretty hard. But yeah, other than that, basically I didn't really trade anything last week. I had maybe 1 or 2 days where I was break even, 1 or 2 days where I made like maybe $10. I really wasn't trading much, wasn't much opportunity today. There was a bit more opportunity, as you see SJ just giving up now. Ugh, this is what I was hoping from it before. As you can see, if you would have got this 1150 short, it was probably the way to go. Crap, I missed it, but what can you do? Can't catch them all. So like I was saying, I started going over some of my futures trades, but here, let me just show you MVIS as well, which has been another runner. Let me tell you what I think about this one. So this 2250 area, or this 2024 and between 2250, you're going to have a lot of selling pressure. So whether you want to look at this thing like a long and then sell up into these 24s, but I wouldn't want to be holding this thing over 24. So if you're in MVIS, congrats for the run it's been on, but I just wouldn't want to be in this thing over 24, and I was trying to short it here for the breakdown because I thought it might give up. I have been trying to short this thing, but I haven't really taken, like, it's been like tiny losses because every time I shorted it, it's on a specific setup, and when it doesn't give me confirmation, I'm get out. So it's breakout or bailout on these trades. You know, it was a few cents lost as soon as it broke down below 30 cents. You know, I gave it and it stopped out. So yeah, so that's the trade. on MVIS from today, but yeah, not much. Like I said, if you want to trade it to the long side, look for 24, and if you want to trade it to the short side, well, if it can break below and actually consolidate and actually give you a breakdown, then but on this thing, you really want to see another breakdown. You really want to see another big red candle when it's below VWAP. So it keeps getting shot down, and then it looks like it's going to break down, but then it gets huge buying volume. So on MVIS, you want to be careful shorting, but if you're shorting in the 24 area, you're probably good. Or if you're waiting for a huge rejection from the VWAP, you might probably get a decent trade. But anyway, that's MVIS as well. Looks like GME might be moving, so if you guys want to check out GME, I'll show you guys that. This thing, it kind of just pops out of nowhere on relatively light volume, but it does look like it wants to run, so this thing could hit 200 today, maybe, in power hour. We'll see. Maybe I'll trade it, but for right now, I'm going to stand aside. You can see this big red volume coming in, starting to overtake the green volume, so you want to be careful on this thing. But overall, I'd be long biased, obviously. This thing has a tendency to rip, so you want to be cognizant of that. And other than that, not much else going on. But so Topstep is this other program that I've just started. So I have been trading today. So I'm up 187.50 today. So I was taking a few trades a few minutes ago, right here in this consolidation area here. So I was actually shorting it right here on this bounce, because if you look at the chart overall, I was watching for this consolidation. So it was actually a couple trades. I went long actually in this area here. So for this bounce off of the VWAP here, I went long. So I was long in this area here, and I was selling into this pop. And then after that, I was going short in this area. Once it broke down and showed that it was rejecting on the 50 moving average, I started to short it in this area here. You can see that this candle here, because I had an overall wedge pattern forming, and it broke down. You see it was breaking this wedge. So before it was acting with consolidating here, and then once it started to break, and this is the ES mini, the S&P 500 basically futures. So with this consolidation in here, I was looking for it to break below this wedge, and once it did and held, you can tell now this is a short. So this is more than likely going to have a short bias for the rest of the day, unless it can get back up into this wedge and hold and then break higher. But the pattern overall, you can see, is starting to reject and starting to go into a shorting, well, a weak pattern anyway, maybe not directly a short, but you want to be careful as well, right? But that's the reason why I was trading it in this range here, right? Shorting into this pop, and then I was basically buying this bounce here and shorting this pop down, because I knew that there would be support in this wedge here, and if it broke down, I wouldn't have, like, I was buying basically like right in this area, so I was only giving it 1 or 2 ticks, not even, for my stop loss, but I had the potential for this bounce right back up to the 50 moving average, which it did, and then the rejection gave me support and confidence to get in, confirmation here on this candle here, which is where I got in, 41.7950. And you can see here I was so that's when I was covering, because I was shorting when it was popping into this 41.80, right? So I was long, and then I was short, and as it pops into this 41.80, I'm getting short, and then I'm covering as it rejects. So quick trades, nothing insane. This morning it was a different type of trade. This morning I was looking at the breakout, so I was basically just going long, right around I think it was right around 9 o'clock or 8:45 or something like this. Right in this area here, I was going long. We'll say it. I don't know if it'll say the actual time. But anyway, that was this morning, 41.72. So wherever the price was when it was at that. So, basically in this range here, I was going long for the breakup here. So I was basically just trading it with momentum. So as it was moving to the upside, I was looking to trade it to the upside, and as it kind of started to pull back below this 50 moving average and started to give us this rejection, I was looking to play it around this level going long and then going short. And you can see here now it's starting to bounce right back up into the 50 moving average. But either way, this is Topstep, and this is the new platform that I'm trying out for a funded program. So they do a funded program of up to 30K for the starter demo account anyway. So you take your trial combine, which is 30K in buying power, and you essentially have to work your way up to 2,000 in profits. And then if you can do that consistently over a period of a week to 2 to 3 weeks, or a month or whatever, then they will fund you. But obviously you have to also stay within their rules, which are essentially to do not hold any trades past 3 o'clock Central Time, which is 4 o'clock Eastern Time, which is basically when the market closes at 4 o'clock. So basically don't hold any trades into the close. And you can only have 3 contracts at a time if you're with a 30K account. So you can only have 3 contracts at a time, which limits your potential gains, but it also limits your potential losses as well. So it's kind of a good thing and a bad thing. But the other thing is that with this account, you also have fees. So basically with my trades for this one, like I said, it's 187.50, right? But when you actually look at the P&L, it's 132, right? So basically $55 of that is commissions. So they take commissions out of your winnings, but they also don't charge you for your losses. I don't necessarily know exactly how it works, but they say they don't actually charge you for your commission. So I don't know how the commissions works in terms of like funding. If, like you said, when you have gains, obviously after commissions, that's what you get. So I'm gonna have to look into that. But for right now, as I just learn the system and get used to kind of the futures market and how the system works, I'm okay just to try the combine and see how it actually works. But obviously I'm going to want to learn about how the payment structure works, because obviously if you have to pay commissions every time, and if you can limit your contracts and actually trade relatively light, so maybe keep it to 4 to 5 trades a day in total, then you could probably keep your commissions relatively small. So mine today was like 5 or 6 trades, so you could probably keep your commissions relatively small, like I said. And you could see, like I said, it was bouncing back up to the 50 FMA, but you see how that acts as resistance here, right? So that 50 moving average and the VWAP now combining, and that was actually a really good short area there. Yeah, missed it though as I was talking. So that's why you want to go short in this area, right? Because you see this descending pattern, you see this descending line with the 50 moving average and with the VWAP here, giving you a clear line that there is selling pressure here, right? And now it's coming right back up. But like I said, it looks weak. So I'll show you how this works, and I'm gonna do a trade right here real quick. I'm gonna keep it really tight stop, but I'm gonna get in at 41.78 if I can.
Order filled.
There you go. So I'm in at 41.78 with one contract. I'm gonna try to get in with another one because I think that this is a pretty good short area.
Order filled.
All right, so we're in 2 contracts here. 41.78 is our average. See if I can get one filled at 41.78 too. So I got one filled at 41.7825. This is where we want to be relatively cautious because we do have this descending pattern here, but this could turn into a losing trade real quick. And it already is a losing trade, but right now we're confident that there will be enough shorting pressure up in that 50 moving average to send this thing lower. Or I'm wrong, right? And that's the risk, right? But at least you guys get to see how the platform works. This is the limit order. You don't really want to be sending in market orders unless you really have to, right? So right now it's starting to really go against us. Try to get one more contract there at 41.78.75, but we'll see.
Order filled.
So we want to see this thing now break down lower, and I will take fills here. I'm going to get out for some right at break even if I can get break even, but we want to see that selling pressure. We're not seeing it.
Order
There
filled.
it is. There it is. There it is. Right? There it is.
Order filled. Order filled. Order filled.
Bam. There you go. So that right there was a it was about $100 trade right there. So you saw it was what, 187 before? So $80 trade, 80 something dollar trade. Bam, right there. 4 contracts. So you see, it was all technical analysis though, right? It was all looking at the chart, understanding where these levels are. And this is my first time actually trading. Like I tried a little bit on Friday, but this is my first time actually trying to be like consistent and actually like conscious of my trades, not just taking like crazy trades. On Friday I was down like over 1,000 because I was like, and this is just play money, it's just fake account. This one, it's just the trial account, and you guys can get this one free for 14 days, but I actually have the paid account, which I will start using probably over the next week. But I just wanted to kind of work some stuff out on this one to see how I kind of like the system, and then I will move to the actual trading combine, so the actual evaluated account. But for right now, I like what I'm seeing from, you know, the way this platform works and how the trades execute relatively quickly, even though it is just the simulated one. I think it is rather good in the way it executes. So that's always a good thing, right? As we see, the actual P&L is 192 instead of 262. Sorry, $70 in commissions, $200 in profits. But that was relatively, you know, relatively riskless trades. Like they were not as risky as they seemed. This one kind of got shaky for a minute here, and this is one of the things I like about futures. They react to technical analysis a lot more than a stock will. So you can look at these futures trades and actually see the way the stock wants to move, or the futures contract wants to move, and you can get a feel for the way the momentum is going and kind of how you can draw out your lines of resistance and your wedge patterns, and you can get a better sense of how this thing wants to trade for the day. And what I mean by that is, like, look at the overall trend. If you look at the overall trend today, so from 8 o'clock this morning up until 11:30, basically, this thing was a long. So anywhere you go in here, you go long in the 50 FMA, 50 moving average. So anywhere above the 50 moving average is a buying level. So at 9 o'clock, boom, buying here at the 50 moving average and holding until you get a pullback. Once you start seeing this big pullback where the trend starts to reverse, you get out somewhere up here, right? 41.80 even if you want. So you get in at 41.72 and you hold to 41.80. That's a big move right there. That's a nice winner, right? And then if you want to counter trend, right, you see this resistance up here forming, you see this wedge that I drew, you see this line of resistance forming, you can short into that and hold with that as your resistance level. So that's your stop loss. And the same thing coming down here. That's why on this first test, or I should say the second test, I was a buyer into this dip because I knew that this wedge would act as support. And that's why when it broke 2 and it starts using this 50 FMH and the VWAP are starting to act as resistance, I'm looking to go short, right? And you can see now shorts are starting to win and that it's probably going to go lower. And that's just recognizing the overall trend, right? Oh, crap. That's just recognizing the overall trend, right? So I just messed this line up. So I'll redraw that a little bit. But you can basically see, you know, oh yeah, this was up here. That's why. I'm like, why is this not lining up? And I'm like, because it broke it. So now I'm starting to draw a new trend line. But anyway, this was the trend line there. So yeah, so it broke the ascending triangle and now it's starting to descend. So now you're starting to look at this is resistance and you can see the overall trend is to the downside now. Whereas to the upside it was between 8 and 11:30. The pattern was going to the upside. So you could trade long in the morning and then at 11:30 you switch to going short and you hold. Either way you're basically profitable and you can calculate these trends relatively easy using different moving averages like the 50 moving average or the volume weighted average price. This red line here can also act as support and resistance, as you see here. Once it breaks this volume weighted average price, the shorts start getting into it, but then this ascending wedge drives it back up above the VWAP. The longs start getting confident again and this thing rips until it hits another resistance level, which was a line below this resistance level, but the shorts start taking over and then it rejects. So overall, I'm still just learning these patterns as well. I'm still just learning the futures market as well. As you can see, you know, I am still profitable today and was able to make some decent trades. Obviously, it's just play money, but this is also getting you ready for the combine. It's getting you ready for understanding how the system works, how the platform works, how futures, how it generally moves, the futures contracts generally move. So in total, you know, I'm probably gonna be finished trading today. I don't know. I like only doing a few trades. I don't like over trading, even though it does look like it's a short now, and I could probably short and hold using the 50 moving average and the VWAP as my stop loss. And I think that would be a relatively good trade to hold. But, you know, right now I'm kind of just waiting to see. So maybe I'll take a short, maybe I won't. I'll update you guys if I do. But basically shorting in this level here right now and holding if it can break down lower. But if it reverses, then these might start acting as support. And you can see like it's still not far removed from this wedge here. So if it can get back up into this wedge and that starts acting as support, and then the VWAP and the 50 moving average start, you know, turning to the upside, start curling as they did here, then we might have a little bit of a long move here, right? But I still think it's short. Like I said, my prediction is that it's going to go short. We're probably going to have a sell-off and that the S&P will just sell off the rest of the day. But see what happens. Anyway, that's going to be that for the day. So that's my trade recap, and that's my overview of Topstep, this new program that I've just started and that I'm going to hopefully see if I can get funded for, and I will update you guys every step of the way. So that's it for today, guys. That's it for the video. Thanks for watching. Thanks for coming back always. And feel free to subscribe and comment below. Like this video if you like it. And other than that, hopefully I'll see you guys in the next one. Have a good day, guys.